this week, we've been looking at the Amazon effect. 25,000 new jobs mean big changes to the area. We've looked at the traffic plan, the possible effect on people experiencing homelessness. And tonight, we're zeroing in on affordable housing. Will those high-wage jobs Amazon promised mean low-wage workers need to find new homes? Here's Delia Gonçalves.
Nunca.
Never.
Nunca he tenido miedo.
I've never been afraid.
Margarita Damian is not backing down. The single mom moved to this Alexandria community known as Chirilawa or Arlandria 16 years ago. She left Mexico not to find wealth, she says, but richness of life.
Yo quiero desarrollarme.
I want to develop myself,
Ser yo.
become
Y que
myself,
mi voz se escuche.
and ensure that my voice is heard.
Me siento aquí, es mi casa.
Suyapa Gomez left Honduras 18 years ago, got married. She's now raising 3 sons in Chirilawa. This is Chirilawa, named after a town in El Salvador. The community is sandwiched between Alexandria's Del Rey neighborhood and Arlington's Crystal City. In fact, it is one of the underdeveloped neighborhoods closest to Amazon's new headquarters in Crystal City. Many of the people here are low-wage workers who often pick up second shifts or work second jobs, even live with another family just to pay the rent. What have you heard about Amazon?
Que viene para acá.
Amazon's move to Crystal City is expected to bring 25,000 jobs to the area and an economic boom. But with that comes fear of displacement. Margarita and Suyapa's homes are just 1 mile away. Amazon says 17% of its workforce will likely live in the immediate area. That means roughly 4,250 new residents, many making 6-figure salaries, looking for a place to live.
Dar más largo todo, entonces es duro explicarle.
Gomez says if she has to leave because of rising rent, what happens if the next move is more expensive? According to the National Low-Income Housing Coalition, the average rent for a 2-bedroom unit in this neighborhood could go for as much as $1,232 a month. If you're making minimum wage, that means you'd have to work 131 hours a week just to make the rent. So for Gomez, there is a lot to lose, and now her 10-year-old son is worried too.
Me pregunta, ¿y si viene Amazon, nos vamos a ir de acá?
We wanted to know if the threat of being forced out once Amazon moves in is real. So we made the cross-country trip to Seattle, where Amazon built its first headquarters 10 years ago.
People are being priced out of very basic housing. There's this tremendous influx of, high-wage tech workers, and affordable housing stock has not kept up.
Here's the big picture in Virginia. State leaders are investing $225 million for new affordable housing that's priced at 30% of your income. In Alexandria, that means 200 affordable units each year. But advocates say right now, they're not sold.
We haven't seen bold leadership to say that, okay, I understand your concern for Amazon. Let's do something, right? We hear more of it's not going to be as bad as it sounds.
But government leaders are calling for patience and will soon be meeting with residents to outline their plan. Ingris Moran is with Tenant and Workers United, organizing residents so they can fight to keep housing affordable. But they're already facing a shortage before Amazon even gets here. Right now in the city of Alexandria, more than 4,900 families are on the waiting list for Section 8 housing. 75% of them classified as extremely low income. That means they make less than $26,000 a year. Those workers need homes, but so far they feel like no one's listening.
So when development starts arriving, that's where us working class people become invisible.
These residents have fought the giant before and won. Back in the 1980s, when developers tried to illegally evict tenants from this housing complex, they organized, won a civil lawsuit, and then, after a decade of fighting, took their homes back and formed the Chirilawa Home Cooperative. Margarita and her neighbors, they're owners of their units. She still fears, though, her home could be at risk if her neighbors vote to sell the property, enticed by developers and their big wallets. So for now, the fight continues. For their children,
Entonces yo le digo, sí, si es para eso, es para pelear.
For their community.
No, estoy cansada de la opresión.
For Chirilawa. Delia Gonçalves, WUSA 9.
So that's the story of one neighborhood. I've got digital investigative specialist Jordan Fisher here. And Jordan, there is really no comprehensive map showing affordable housing in our area. So you built one, and take us through it.
We wanted to take a look at the inventory of affordable housing across the whole DMV.
Okay.
And at a bird's eye view, this does look like a lot of units. But consider what you're seeing here in Montgomery County is the result of a law that's been on the books for 30 years requiring new construction to have a certain number of affordable units. Now down here in Alexandria, where Delia and I visited, the city government says they have 18,000 families currently competing for just 4,000 units.
So that tells us that Amazon is already walking into a housing crisis here.
Absolutely. We dug into that crisis and the numbers behind it in much more detail, and you can see that right now on WSA9.com.
All right, worth checking out, Jordan. Thank you. We've got an exclusive inside look also at what it's like working for Amazon. They don't usually let cameras in, but they said yes to us, and you'll see that tomorrow night on the news at 11.